Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Tuesday, May 5th, 2020 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I balance what I value with the new information coming in. And today we have a major paradigm shift astro-wise. We have a nodal shift. So the North Node is moving just a few hours from this recording. It's happening about 1:45 in the morning Eastern time. I know I usually do Pacific, but Eastern time, 1:45 a.m.-ish, is right around the time that we have this paradigm shift. North Node moving from Cancer into Gemini. You're like, wait, is that the wrong way? Nodes move in the opposite direction of everything else. They're like always retrograde, but that's their normal motion. So we have the North Node, moving from 0 Cancer, there we go, to 29 Gemini. And we have the South Node moving from 0 Capricorn to 29 Sagittarius. So what does this mean? Well, the North Node, we want to follow our true north. So as a collective, we have a new focused energy. The nodal energies really do work with our collective karmic lessons. And so with the North Node in Gemini, we want to focus true north in that direction, keeping our minds open, staying ready for change. Change is very key with Gemini energy. Communication is highlighted, indicated with this. Communication means speaking and listening. Gemini gets the reputation of jack of all trades, but Gemini energy, and I will tell you this as a Gemini rising, Gemini energy knows so much about so many things because it has explored. And so that's really the thing, like keeping our minds open to what is drawing us because there's information there for you. The change piece feels really important with this as well. Gemini is a mutable sign, so being willing to be like kind of in the flow and in the change of things. Now I mentioned yesterday we had the North Node in Cancer. So the North Node in Cancer was giving us like that feeling foundation to jump into thought land. With the North Node in Gemini, we do want to keep up with our monkeys. We do not want to completely rein in the monkeys, but we do want to run with the monkeys. And also, as we're running with the monkeys, notice what we're feeling, because there are so many different rabbit holes in the world, and not every rabbit hole is for you. So, talking about a zoo here, rabbit holes and monkeys, you don't have to go down every rabbit hole, but you do have to be very aware of the feeling of that which draws you. Using your intuition from that North Node in Cancer energy, letting that intuition help guide you into, yes, this feels like a rabbit hole for me, or no, this is not my rabbit hole. So being very aware of that with this Gemini energy. Another thing we want to be really aware of, and this will be definitely something we'll be working through with Venus. Venus going retrograde in the sign of Gemini later this month. So we do want to be very aware of matching, twinning with others. There's a gift in that. And again, I find this in my readings, that it can be so easy for me to match with somebody because it helps me really feel through, ultimately, what it is that they're going through. I have a sneeze coming. Excuse me. Okay. Sorry. Good thing we're on computers. Anyway. We want to be very aware, though, that when we do match, to come back to ourselves, like really recognize the mirror in that matching, and yet come back to, taking off any of those layers that are put on during that matching. I also want to talk about Gemini as the connector. Gemini minds are like so fast. Gemini can connect the dots to here, to over here, like this, but in a split second. there will be lots of connections and understandings that can come during this time. I actually pulled from the archetypes deck, I pulled the bridge card for the North Node in Gemini, and I will read that at the end. But be aware, like a lot of like ahas, connections can be made through this transit. So we're going like from 0 to 60 with this Gemini energy because it does enter at that 29-degree energy. So be very aware of racing thoughts and the like during these first few days. And again, this is the time we want to keep our mindfulness up with the monkeys. Run with the monkeys. Stay there with your mind. What we do want to be very, very aware of as well is the South Node energy. So the South Node is like the bottomless pit. It's the been there, done that. Learn those lessons. So the bottomless pit in this case is Sagittarius, which I am a Sagittarius. So I'm so skilled and appropriate for helping guide you through this energy. With Sagittarius, we want to be very aware of thinking that we know it all. We do not ever know it all, but the Sagittarius energy knows a lot, and so it can feel like it knows it all. There is always so much going on that we never know it all, and this is why we want to, North Node in Gemini, keep our minds very open. The other thing is, we got schooled a few years ago about our belief systems when we had Saturn going through Sagittarius, about 2.5 years ago now. We finished that transit, and yet here we are again, is like being told, don't hold too firmly to your beliefs. Do stay open. It's not to say that you shouldn't have a strong belief foundation, but be open to the changes that are coming that could potentially shift your belief systems. The song Hold On Loosely just popped into my head as I was saying that. So be very aware of that. I think this is also a time to like really dig into your localized community to see what's going on there. Sagittarius is worldwide travel. Right now, of course, we're a little bit restricted, but this is a really good time to get to know your neighbors, to get to know what is going on locally. Gemini also represents siblings, so maybe reaching out to your siblings. Hey, how are you doing? Just to make these connections because they will breed understanding. So like I said, I'm going to read this at the end, but I want to dig into the other astro aspects first. Okay, so North Node moving into Gemini is moving in a very interesting time because we are building super fast into this full moon in Scorpio. We have the full moon imminent, and yet here we are still trying to find a balance with the moon in Libra. So the moon in Libra is like, oh my God, we were in the feels and now we're in the overthinking. So you may feel that major shift from the feels place to the overthinking. Today, the moon, it has some challenges. The moon will be squaring those Capricorn energies, so we might feel out of harmony by somebody, authority outside of us, telling us what to think, telling us what to believe. That's so rampant right now. All the people calling others sheeple on the computer. There's this side which is firmly ensconced in this belief, and there's this side firmly ensconced in this belief, and if you are not in one or the other, there's many who are ready and willing to insult you, and yet you are entitled to your own personal authority. You are entitled to really feel through and discern what feels right for you, and it's nobody else's right to tell you what is up or what is true. So do be very aware of that. That's, I think, just going to be increasing with this energy. Again, this is where we want to use that Cancer energy that we worked on. You must use your discernment, use your feels to help you feel through what feels right for you, Oh, yes, the fighting card, and yet it's right there with the Chariot card. Awareness, and the Breakthrough card, Oh, crazy catties. Awareness of what's really going on. Don't shine the laser on me when I'm working. She goes crazy for a laser pointer. Anyway, so we may have that challenge threatening to pull us out of our harmony. Stay in your mind and your heart to stay in your personal harmony. Let's see, what else do we have going on? Oh, super strong air energy, mental energy, but that might be good. Again, my feeling with this air is like we just are needing more than ever to reach out and connect. So reach out and connect to those who understand you, those who you understand, and even if you find yourself connecting with those who you do not understand, be understanding that they are in their own process, and North Node and Gemini, stay open to their process. So what other cards do I have? I actually have alongside of I have a crazy kitty right here. Alongside the fighting and the awareness card is the Lovers. Again, when we can stay open to everybody having, because of their own life process, their own set of understanding of what's going on, that allowance energy can bring a lot more evolution than US believe what I believe ever has or will do. So breakthroughs with that. Let's read the bridge. The bridge. Bridges are built to connect two worlds. They create flow, allowing us to travel between realms, ideologies, personalities. This archetype is the gesture of acceptance, of saying yes, rather than withdrawing, separating, and saying no. When we cross a bridge to an unknown land, we are led magically into a new reality. We open up to otherness, healing, and communication are made possible. We enter a state of curiosity, wonder, staying curious. That was a point that I wanted to make with the North Node in Gemini. Staying curious is definitely key. We enter a state of curiosity, wonder, and learning. The shaman, for example, creates the bridge between the everyday world and the sacred. This card asks us to study the connections between the seemingly disconnected parts of our life, relationships, ideologies, histories. Remember that a bridge can't be forced. It must be made with love, or its structures will not withstand the inevitable weather of life. And the little side note is, imagine building a bridge, then imagine building a wall. Which energy is needed for the situation at hand, the world at hand right now? Which image softens and heals the heart? So here's the bridge card for our North Node in Gemini energy. And one of my favorite Rumi verses, which I know I say about that so many of them, is love is a bridge between you and anything. So I will end this here. We will be digging more and more and more and more into this energy daily. But here is your first download. And I would love to hear from you how you are experiencing this shift. So if you'd like to book a reading with me, email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you, and you do have the power. Namaste.